Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Randers, and today I wanted to talk about the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, in my opinion, are the worst situation in the NBA, which is really saying something. We've seen a lot of teams struggle this year, like the Spurs, Pistons, Wizards, but at least those teams have a direction. The Bulls do not have a direction. They are completely content with mediocrity, and have been for a little while now. The front office refuses to trade assets when they're at their highest and are instead hoping for a Lonzo Ball return so that the Bulls can maybe compete for the 1 seed once again, which seems very unlikely at this point in time. The Bulls missed out on cashing in on some assets for DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vucevic at this year's trade deadline. With these moves not being made, I truly see the Bulls as one of the worst situations, if not the worst, in the NBA. When you actually break down the roster and look at it piece by piece, there's not a lot to be excited about. Your number one option, DeMar DeRozan, is most likely gone after this season. DeMar's tenure as a Bull has been really up and down. That first year, the Bulls were the 1 seed. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan were all-stars, and DeMar was a true number 1 option during this time. He was playing some of his best basketball, even being past the age of 30, which was really surprising as DeMar seemed like he was on a downward slope after his San Antonio days. As the years have gone by, DeMar's still been a decent scorer, yet his 3-ball is still nearly non-existent, and he relies on his mid-range game way too much. It's an old-fashioned style of basketball that doesn't work in the modern NBA, and the Bulls have really struggled because of this. It really limits the potential of this Bulls team. In addition, their second option, Zach LaVine, has fallen off a cliff. Zach has not been able to stay healthy, and when he is, he gets more inefficient by the game. Like DeMar, Zach has limited playmaking skills and can only create for himself. When you add in that his shot isn't going in at the rate it once was, it spells disaster. I'm seeing more people label Zach LaVine as an inefficient shot chucker that can't stay healthy. It's a shame the Bulls weren't able to move on from him sooner because I just don't see a market for Zach LaVine at this point. The Bulls had multiple opportunities to move on from both of these players, yet the front office refuses to do so. That's what makes this situation so frustrating. The Bulls have had chances to reset and really create something special. They could have gained multiple first-round picks for both of these players, and maybe 1 or 2 more for Nikola Vucevic. Surrounding these draft picks with Coby White, who is really your only bright spot on this roster, could have been something really special. Speaking of Coby White, thankfully they have one bright spot on this team. If he had not emerged this season, I really don't know where the Bulls would be heading into this offseason. Coby White is averaging 19.3 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists this season on decent efficiency. He has my vote for Most Improved Player of the Year, and he is really the only bright spot on this roster. Looking into the future, it's hard to tell what direction this Bulls team is going to take. As of right now, the Bulls are the 9th seed, and they are slated to play the Hawks in the play-in tournament. Best case scenario, they're facing Boston in round 1, which is a 4, maybe 5 game series at the most. So when the season ends, what are the Bulls going to do? Many believe it's time to rebuild, finally tearing down this roster, moving assets, and getting draft picks in return. But this is not what we've seen from the Bulls in recent years. DeMar is most likely gone at the end of this season. Zach and Lonzo can't stay healthy, and you have no decent players to surround Coby White. In addition to the current roster being bad, the Bulls haven't been able to draft well in past years. Even if the Bulls got some draft picks back for these players now, who knows if they'd be able to develop the talent that they draft. Former number 4 overall pick Patrick Williams has been a bust. Many saw this was a reach at the time, and it's looking like it more by the day. His contract is also expiring at the end of the season, and unless you want to pay a decent penny, I don't think you'll be able to bring him back either. Other first-round picks like Dalen Terry have not worked out, and I don't trust this Bulls front office to draft well. My hope is that the Bulls ship everyone away. A sign and trade for DeMar would be nice so you get some assets back, but Zach needs to go, Vucevic needs to go, no matter what the price is. If these players are only fetching a single first-round pick, you need to take that. Their value has consistently been dropping year by year. To continue on this path would be insanity. Knowing this Bulls team, though, that's most likely not what's going to happen. DeMar is probably coming back, They're hoping for a healthy Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball, which are both unlikely, but that's what this Bulls front office has done. Since 2020, they've stuck with this team because of the glimpse they had as the 1 seed. If the Bulls decide to run it back next year and nothing changes, there needs to be serious talks about firing everyone. The front office, Billy Donovan, everybody needs to go. Bring in a general manager that has the balls to tear a roster down. Until that happens, the Bulls will be stuck in mediocrity. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.